Rest pause training is one of the best ways to increase your intensity in the gym to build muscle and get stronger. It also makes your training incredibly productive as you're trying to beat your reps week after week. Your goal with rest pause is to work up to your first work set and take it to failure. Rest for 30 seconds and go to failure once again. Rest 30 seconds again and go back for one more round. This is basically 3 high intensity sets in one. Your goal is to increase the total reps you do between the 3 rest pause sets. One of the best ways you can kind of think about this is, say you did a dumbbell bench press and you are using the hundreds for the day. You do 14 reps on the first set, 8 reps on the second set, and 5 reps on the third set. That's a total of 27 reps. So your next time you're in the gym, you're gonna try and do more than that. So you're gonna try and beat 27. You should only use rest pause training for certain exercises that allow you to work hard while fatigued. If you go to failure on squats without full rest, you're gonna get injured. The reward isn't worth the risk. Other exercises such as bench press, cable rows, bicep curls, lateral raises, and other exercises have a lower risk of injury and will allow you to push closer to failure. Bottom line, don't do rest pause sets for squats, deadlifts, or any rowing exercises that put your low back in a compromised position such as dumbbell or barbell rows. By doing rest pause and training close to failure, you ensure you do the maximum amount of work without doing a ton of sets that don't do anything but ruin your recovery. If your goal is muscular strength and hypertrophy, rest pause training is one of the best ways to handle it without a doubt. Your goal with rest pause is to set up progressive overload in a way that you're progressing week after week and you can go after rep PRs, build more muscle, and get stronger. The best way I found to actually set this up is that for any of the isolation exercises you're doing, your goal is to hit 30 total reps. So if you do 15, 10, and then 5 on your bicep curls with 30 pounds, you're gonna do that, you're gonna hit 30 reps, and then the next week you're gonna add 5 pounds, and you're gonna try and, get to 30 reps again, essentially. But your goal is to go to complete muscular failure on those isolation exercises so you can build the most muscle with it. And because the risk is so low to get injured on those kind of things, you can kind of push it a lot harder than any other movement. For things like dumbbell rows and things like that, do not use any kind of rest pause training because it puts your back in a very precarious position. So you don't want to be pushing it in a way that's going to cause low back fatigue and eventually, your spine shoots out of your back, which is, bad. For dumbbell exercises such as dumbbell press, dumbbell bench, or any other similar movements, you can go for 20 reps. Let's say on your 3 sets, you get 12, 5, and 3. By that point, you're gonna be pretty fatigued, but you got the 20 reps, you can add weight, do it again. And then finally, for any of your barbell movements, such as your bench press, you can do the 10 rep range. So say you do your first set, you get 5, second set's 3, last set is 2. You got 10 reps, you do 5, 3, and then 2, that's your 10 reps, you're gonna add weight the following week. Just try and set it up, see how it works for you, and you should notice a big increase in how much muscle you're able to build very quickly with this. If you're doing 100 pounds on the dumbbell bench and you're doing 10, 5, and 3, and then a couple months with the dumbbell bench, you're actually doing 15, 10, and 5 with 150 pounds, you got stronger. I guarantee you built more muscle doing this. And as long as you're keeping the volume down and you're actually pushing the sets to complete muscular failure on the exercises you can, you'll build more muscle. A lot of people that do high volume, they get really beat up. They're not getting stronger. They're actually getting weaker on some things. Try this out, see if it works for you, and let me know in the comments below with what kind of results you guys have. But make sure that you're doing this with a proper baseline of strength and your technique is on point. Because if you're going in, you're doing a set on the bench press and every single rep looks like a grinder, and by that last rep the bar is shaking around, your elbows are flying everywhere, your form is not locked in, that's not what rest pause is. You go until either complete failure on isolation exercises where you're working on like a bicep curl or a lateral raise. For the bench press, other exercises, you want to make sure you're stopping when your form breaks down, because that is the most important thing for compound movements, is not pushing to the point where your form is breaking down and causing injuries.
Basically, if you want to get as strong as possible and you want to build as much muscle as possible, you should be trying to do the rest pause training, because it's going to let you do the most reps with the most weights, with the most muscles, and the more muscles you build, the stronger you are. So try it out. Let me know how you do in the comments below. Now!
Try this out and let me know what kind of results you get from it. It should spur new growth in those who are intermediates and advanced especially. After all, at a certain point, you can't just add more volume. You can always increase the intensity and the weight on the bar, however. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel and like to see how to get stronger and build more muscle, start now by subscribing and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you very much for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day.